Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a personal reading for someone who wanted a love reading. They had a couple specific questions, but I also decided to use one of my favorite spreads that I usually use on like twin flames and soulmates and people like that. So if there's anybody out there who clicked on this and you're kind of in that boat where you're looking for a love reading, then maybe you clicked on this for a reason. So stay tuned and definitely leave comments and let me know if it happens to resonate for you as well. So I've got all these cards laid out here. I'm pretty excited to go for this, but I just wanted to say that when I tapped into your energy, I did feel a lot of change and transition, and I do feel like a positive energy, like whatever's happening is really gonna work out for the best. Father issues also came up. I was debating on whether or not to say something, but I was like, I didn't have this vision for no reason. So I feel like there's some father issues here that, you know, maybe you had some trauma or some type of conflict or issues between you and your father. And they're saying that healing that with meditation and with cutting the cords and forgiveness and just doing some healing work is going to really help you there. Now, healing is very personal to each person, and everyone kind of goes through their own healing and grieving process in their own way, but I feel like this could potentially be the root of some of the struggles here. A good way to approach this this issue you're having could be to spend some time focused on healing the father, and you might find that your attitude shifts, your perception towards this shifts, and that can cause actual shift and change in the 3D. So yeah, it's actually really awesome. I mean, you have to be really brave and willing to be honest and kind of go there, and willing to kind of dig up some old wounds sometimes, but when you do, it's always rewarding because you finally get to let things go and you come to peace on a new level. And that's what healing's all about. It's just about coming to peace and balancing yourself. It's really that simple. So I feel like, you know, balance and peace is needed in that area. So with that said, let's get started. There's a lot of really cool stuff that came out. I see where you're at in your walk and your path. That's what this is. So you are definitely a healer, some type of healer. And they're saying that, or you're also probably doing a lot of healing right now, so maybe you'll actually be really down to go for that, you know? They're saying that you're being guided right now. It might be that you're having people come into your life as mentors. It might be that you're finding different people on the internet to get guidance from, and it could be that you're really trying to learn more about awareness and, you know, your personal growth and development. And so you've received a lot of instruction recently, they're saying. And also, it seems like this is like the wheel of the year here, and this is a symbol that the wheel of the year is turning for you. Like, it's a whole new level in your life for you, and things are actually kind of looking up. But the challenge is that healing is needed. There seems to be a challenge with your healing. And honestly, it could just be that this eclipse we just had and Mercury retrograde just stirred a lot of stuff up for you. I had to take a break from the channel for like a day or two because I just felt the guidance to just rest and not talk or use my voice and not give my energy out, and not even do any readings, because sometimes it's important for us to just retreat and go within and just relax and rest and give time to ourselves. And so I feel like that's kind of where you're at in your path. Like, you're trying to give time to yourself. You are really thinking more about like improving your life and how you can move forward, and you are willing to have this positivity, and you have hope, and that's really good. That's really all you need is hope. But it's like, it's a challenging time. Maybe it's just, there's a lot of stuff coming up right now, and you're receiving this guidance, but it can be overwhelming sometimes, you know what I mean? So you might feel a little bit confused right now, but, you know, Mercury, when it's going retrograde, it rules communication. So maybe the messages that are coming through just don't feel as clear. Maybe you're having a hard time tapping into your intuition, and that's okay. You know, just keep going with the flow here. I'm getting a message that you're going to break through this, and that's kind of what this picture is reminding me of. Like, you're going to have a breakthrough very soon, so just keep going. This path might really be confusing you. You might not really understand what's happening around you right now, but it's going to kind of take another form and be a little bit more digestible, if that makes sense. So the joined energy between you guys. So this is the joined energy between you and the person in question. Yeah, there's a lot of passion here. So just know, like, this person definitely has strong feelings for you, because I'm not going to draw the passion card for the joined energy unless there's like an intensity there. So a lot of this intensity is obviously coming from you, but I feel like he's kind of involved in this as well. So there is a mutual shared passion and energy here. So that's good news, because I know one of your questions was just wondering like how this person felt, because you feel like so in the dark. And I'm also getting a message that a joined energy between you guys is also, you're kind of on the other side of like this personal winter you've been through. And I pulled this card on the channel before. When I pull this card, it means that whoever I'm pulling it for went through a struggle, and maybe went through a time where there was scarcity, maybe a lack of finances and abundance, and or just maybe that you were hit with a lot of contrast and conflict, or maybe you just found yourself very alone, or there was a depression perhaps. But this is saying that you're basically out of that, and you're just trying to like kind of get your footing so you can move forward to more positive time in your life. So a time of, you know, maybe a little less struggle. So that seems to be something you guys have in common. So very interesting. You guys already, I'm kind of getting a vibe like a soulmate kind of situation going on here. I just feel like, yeah, you guys, if you guys are marrying each other in this way, then there's a huge potential, obviously, that they're in your soul family. So this is his energy. So their energy. I'm going to say his. I'm going to say the masculine. I don't want to assume gender here, but just to help everyone stay on track, I'm going to say he, but this could also go for a she. I can't remember if you said they were she or he in the email or not, so, but I'm just going to say he. So, he is, I do feel a strong male energy from this person. He's trying to just surrender his will right now. He's probably going through his own Mercury retrograde blues right now. This is the heron, and I pulled it before, and there's another card that has a heron just on it, and it's a huge one, and it looks a little bit more lively. And the heron's all about taking things one step at a time, and, you know, being patient in the quest and journey towards like your dreams and your soul mission and life purpose, you know. But this one is really weighed down and it just seems tired and exhausted here. So I just feel like that's how he's feeling right now. There's been a lot of death around him, a lot of loss, things are leaving his life, and this is him just trying to surrender his will. And there's also this energy of true love coming from him. So there's either new love entering his life, or perhaps, you know, he's spending his time thinking about, you know, someone, you know, there's something on his mind when it comes to love. So I can't say yet if it's you. It could be you, it could be a couple people. It could be one. I'm getting this energy of, yeah, definitely love. Maybe like a distraction though, like maybe he's distracting himself with this. When it comes next to this card, it's making me think that maybe there's something on his mind and he's having a hard time letting it go, and he's being distracted by it. It could be you. Let's see what happens in the reading. So your question was, will you be together as one? And I'm gonna give you my answer, and it's very meta. Okay, so if you're into this whole concept of oneness, then technically, you know, eventually at some point in the future, you know, I can't say if it's going to be in this life or the next or just on the other side or something, but somehow, some way you will be reunited with this person. And the same goes for pretty much everyone you've met on your path. Anyone of significance, you know, your soul family. after this life, when you go to the other side, you join with that oneness again. So in that way, yes, you will eventually be one with him. And you are still one with him and all of existence. Like, you're one with everything in creation. Like, you know? So the meta answer is yes. But I guess as far as literally goes, what they're saying is that, yeah, they know you're feeling really insecure. And my cards do this to me, you know, I can't control them. Sometimes they, instead of answering a question, they just kind of get real with me. So I think that's what this is. They're saying that, you know, yeah, they're understanding, like, you've been through this insecurity, but they're saying it's time for you to start delegating. It's time to basically do something about it. It's time to take these emotions and these fears that you have, it's time to transmute them, you know? Now, what is transmuting? Transmuting is basically taking negative energy and, you know, fear and chaos and drama and turning it into a positive situation and something that works for you. An example is a songwriter. You know, songwriters everyone goes through so much in their life, and people who write songs, you know, they channel a lot of some of the horrible negative things that have happened to them in their life into their music, and it ends up being something that's uplifting and positive for other people to hear. So, that's just an example. Like, the artists, like, that's what we do. Like, we channel everything into our art, and in that way we transmute. So they're saying that you've got a lot of energy coming up in you about this situation and about this person, and they're trying to turn your attention to the fact that your thoughts create your reality. So if you do want the situation to become more balanced and you want to feel better about this, then you could, you know, you can't really control what this other person's doing, but there actually are some things you can do. You know, when you think of this person, instead of being stressed out and worried about it, you can just take a deep breath and send that person love and light. You know, you could literally just imagine sending them love and light and just be thankful for, you know, the time that you had with them and the person that they were to you, because you know you're never going to be the same now after you met this person, and they mean so much to you, and yeah, like, there is definitely an intensity here, you know what I'm saying? Like, this passion card. So, you know, when you think of them, don't send them all that fear, and don't put more of that chaos into the situation. You know, you need to be authentic with how you're feeling, you know, like, maybe acknowledge, like, okay, I'm feeling really nervous about this right now, I'm feeling really scared, I'm feeling overwhelmed by this, but you got to remind yourself the truth, you know, just be like, you know what, in spiritual truth, the situation is already resolved, you know, the past, present, and future are all happening at the same time. Somewhere on some other plane of existence, this situation's already passed and resolved, right? That's me getting really meta, but that's one way to explain it. I've heard so many different viewpoints and about the world and the universe and how everything works, and I have my own intuition and my own hunches, but lately that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, I feel like what you can do is you can tap into the energy of the solution, and you can trust and use hope and use your positivity and kind of create like some alchemy that will help this situation move to a higher level and to a higher vibe to where it can be resolved. So it all happens in your head, it all happens in your heart. You know, it starts with being honest about how you feel, and then meditation is also a really powerful tool. You know, if you need to talk to this person and you have some stuff to get out, you can simply just lay down and meditate and imagine them in front of you and say what you need to say, you know? And imagine them saying to you something that would help resolve the issue, and something that would help you feel better. And or you can just listen. Sometimes you might be able to hear, you know, an intuitive feeling of what they're actually feeling in the situation. You might come to some type of understanding. You know, it might simply be a meditation where you just lay down and you send the person love instead of sending them all that fear. So start really thinking about changing your perception about the situation. It's really hard because, you know, you're coming at this from, there's this passion, and then there's like all this stuff coming from Mercury retrograde, and then there was some of the father issues I mentioned when I first tapped into the energy. So there's a lot going into this situation, and You know, honestly, the only reason I'm able to speak on this is because I've obviously been through some stuff like this. I've been through a lot. It's kind of crazy. My path has really been taking me through so much. I've learned so much about people, and I've met so many people in my life, and it's been incredible. So, and I'm still working on some of these things I'm saying. I know are messages to me, and I'm still working on a lot of this as well. I'm kind of like a wounded healer, you know? So I'm hoping none of this is coming across like judgmental. Like, I have only the utmost respect for your path. And, you know, I sometimes go back and listen to these readings when I feel an intuition to do so, and they help me. And I know other people watch them too, and it helps them. So I'm interested to see if anyone else has something in common with you. They'll comment. But basically, they're saying that you can do something about this. Like, you're powerful. Like, you can control your personal energy, and you have the ability to attract miracles into your life. Now, if it isn't meant for you to connect with this person again in this life, then it's not going to happen. And that will be revealed to you. But for now, and you might not want to spend all of your time obsessing and like trying to manifest this, because if you are trying to manifest this, there comes a point where you just have to let it go. And because, you know, if you keep, you know, doing all these manifestation meditations, or you keep doing all the different things, or doing spells and all this stuff, and then that holds the vibe in the place of like still like not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you keep thinking like, oh my gosh, I want it to happen, I want it to happen, I want it to happen, then it can't really come, because you keep holding the situation in that energetic space of not having yet come to fruition. So trust, that's how you kind of lift the vibe of the situation up. You have trust and you have hope, and you affirm yourself. I know there is a resolution to this situation. I know that this will be resolved. I trust in this path and what it's teaching me. And I know that there's a positive outcome for everyone involved, and I trust in that. I trust in this path and what's happening, and you know what I mean, in this divine timing. And like, that's the kind of space you need to get in your head, and that's all about surrendering. I talked about surrender in actually the personal read I loaded before this one. And I'm probably going to do a reading on that for one of the daily readings. I'm probably just going to pull that card out and talk about it some more, because I've been learning that in my life. But surrender is when you just kind of open up and you let go, and you open to the solution. And I feel like that's what this reading and these cards are starting to say. And it seems to be the message I've been delivering to everyone lately. And then I've been learning about it even more. And my partner too. So maybe this is something that's just happening in like the collective consciousness right now. So very interesting. Okay, here we go. Does he love you? Is that right here? Yeah. So, does he love you? I think that he feels like you're kind of home to him. Like, he felt very safe with you. And I think the answer here would be positive. It's going to be a yes. I think that this person knows that you're going through a lot of transformation in your life and is aware of that. And like, they respect that, you know what I'm saying? And you helped actually set a lot of changes into motion for this person. So it's like you guys kind of have this effect on each other in that way. I would call that a soulmate for sure. Could also just be a karmic relationship. But I feel more of like a healing energy here between you guys. So in short, the answer is yes. Why has he pushed you back and kind of put you on hold? That was another question. So why has this person kind of pushed you back? Now look at this. Oh my goodness. I bet if you look at these cards, you'll know what it means. This is the endurance card, and that's him right there. And this is the purification card, saying that you need to detox and clean things out, healings, and even healing your body. So basically, this person is going through a lot. There's this storm in the background. They're just trying to make it through. It could be that they're just having a hard time finding their way in the world. It could be that they're, you know, dissociating a lot and kind of not participating in life fully. Like they're kind of turned their back on their mission, maybe. I feel like it's a hard time for him. I see that he's able to make it through, and he's a strong person, and I see this fire here. It's really blazing, so it's like there's this suggestion that he's gonna make it through, but it's a hard time for him, especially like emotionally and spiritually, because he's going through a lot of healing and change. And it could be that there's been a death, like an actual physical death, because death is going to put you in the grieving process, and that's just going to send you through this detox, purification, healing thing. It could be more of an emotional kind of loss. You know, it could be like he's cut off from certain people. He could feel I just see like very disconnected. When I get this picture, I know exactly what the person's going through, because I remember the times I've pulled it for myself. And I mean, I'm not gonna, whenever I see these cards though, I think like they're gonna make it through. I could be pulling some cards, even worse cards. It makes me feel like this person's got this situation under control. It's just a matter of time. So once again, it could just be Mercury, it could be the planets, it could be this big change that's happening. It's a positive change, I believe that, for everyone, but anytime there's change, our ego starts to, you know, we start to fear, and sometimes we have to heal, and that can be difficult, and that can be really intense sometimes. So that's just kind of what he's going through. It's part of the cycle, it's part of life, but that's where he's at. I gotta drink some water. So that's why he's kind of put you on hold. Like, it's like he can't even think about that right now with everything that's happening with him. Unfortunately. Let me see. So, what's going on with this guy and like his romantic interest? Like, is there someone else kind of thing? He's really sensitive right now. I don't know if I'm gonna say yes. I kind of feel like I don't think there's anyone else. I just think he's really touchy when it comes to this area of his life right now. Probably because of this, but the answer is no. I don't think there's anyone. I'm not feeling that with him. He could desire this, but there's like been a death, and that's what this is the funeral flower here. There's been like a death, and I think that, yeah, in short, he's just very sensitive right now, and he has a hard time opening up, and he gets triggered really easily in relationships, and it's like, you know, I can't say he isn't like going on Tinder and stuff, or like whatever, hitting up people in that sense, but I don't really feel like this person's that kind of person who would, I don't know, I feel like they're the kind of person that longs for this intimacy, like on a relationship level, but they're it's just not right now. They're just so sensitive. I don't know, and that might be hard for you to understand, because I feel like you're the kind of person who, like, relationships help you through difficulties, and you don't understand, like, why someone would want to isolate themselves and be alone, but that's just how some people handle these issues in their life, and sometimes it's like, I'm actually learning it's best to kind of sometimes isolate yourself to go through this healing, because other people don't necessarily want to be around you when you're going through this. It can be really hard, and sometimes it's just so personal, and you need this time on your own, so I feel like this is just what's meant to be, you know? This person needs to, you can't help them through this. It's something they have to go through on their own. It's personal, you know? Now, what do you know that he doesn't? So, hang on. Okay, so you kind of have been a bit secluded yourself from others and from just getting out in the world and stuff, and, you know, maybe taking risks and trying new things, putting yourself out there, marketing yourself, whatever, starting new things. But it seems like, you know, lately you've been kind of dipping your toe in the pond when it comes to expressing yourself. So there could be some type of new art form you've started. Maybe it is literal. Maybe this card is literal and you started writing music about this person. They don't know you've written poems and music about them, and like that's how intense you feel about them. It could be that maybe they don't see this side of you. Maybe they don't realize how creative you can be, and like, or something. And maybe they don't know that you're like in this new period of your life, and like you're feeling a lot more graceful, and you're like a lot more in the flow, and you've learned all this new knowledge, and it's making your life a lot more harmonious. And they just might not know these changes you've been through. They might not know about the art you're making that might have to do with them. Interesting. Like, I've never got these two cards together, so I'm like, whoa, what was that? But let me know if, like, what you think about that, because I want to know if you have been writing poems or anything, because that's a very direct message, and if I got that right, I would be like, oh my god. So what he knows that you don't. So, okay, I don't know. I'm gonna pull a clarifier. This strikes me as two ways. Maybe you don't know that he feels the same way about you, and that he's trying to find a way to manifest this situation back into his life. Or it could be that he is looking to the future, and maybe he has someone else out there that's like his twin flame, and he feels like he's alone right now, and he's not even like interested, because he knows, like, for some reason, like, he's looking for this person, he's waiting for this person, and it's like hard. It's like it goes either way. Either he still has these strong feelings for you, he's trying to manifest the situation back into his life, or he's trying to manifest something else, like, in his love life. So I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put my phone down, and I'm going to pull a card from my personal deck. So drum roll. What is the deal? Okay, I'm shuffling. Something just flew out of the deck, but I'm gonna pull another one as a clarifier. You know what? I'm gonna pull from my Wildwood deck. One more clarifier. Just give me a second. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Alright. So, I'm getting the fulfillment card. So it's like he wants to be fulfilled in this area of his life. Like, this is very important to him. And it says that he's having an awakening, basically. I see this card, and it's talking about the sun, and like it says, there's a new sun rising within you. Be proud of your hard work. And it says, you have now been blessed with the gift of the ability to bounce back from disappointment and despair. Which is awesome, because he really needs that right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna say that this person's going through a spiritual awakening. Overall, they want to manifest this situation in their life. I'm gonna ask one more time, like, does this person still have feelings for you? And I'm gonna pull two cards. Give me a second. I just feel like I need to ask a different question to get the answer. I know that this deck will tell me what's up. Okay. Alright, I think I got your answer. I think this person still has feelings for you. I think that it's kind of hard to tap into right now because of everything he's going through, and because it's Mercury retrograde. Sometimes the veil can be a little harder to get through, you know what I'm saying? But it says that this person feels a lot more free. Like, they're headed to a place in their life where these clouds are parting. They're feeling a lot more free. They're feeling a lot more adventurous. I wonder if this person's a Sagittarius. I'm feeling like this energy in them. It's very adventurous. And it's saying that they are in this place where they're leaving difficulty behind, and they can finally kind of restore, and they're getting stronger, you know? So it makes me think that this person just has had a classic spiritual awakening. Perhaps you've been through something similar. A lot of times in one part of the journey, you're going to go through something called Dark Night of the Soul. You can Google that, like spiritual awakening, Dark Night of the Soul, and like read about it and like watch some videos and see like what resonates for you, and perhaps, you know, what makes you think of this person, because I feel like they have been through a dark night of the soul and they're just getting out of it, and they're feeling a lot more refreshed. They're just like, whoo, I can relax, you know, like this moose here is just like, ah, water, finally water. I'm so refreshed now. So I feel like that's kind of how he's feeling. Like he's just drinking up, he's getting restored. He's learning a lot. Like there's like new knowledge coming into his life. I feel like he's having this big shift. He's having this feeling like it's now or never with a lot of things in his life. So, man, with this type of energy, it could be that this person comes galloping back into your life with an offer. It could also be that this person is galloping in another direction. You know what I mean? And it says a new sun is beginning to rise within you. A new sun. And it could be that this guy is headed towards new situations in his life, and this is the end of a chapter. But I want to see the last couple cards to see what's going on here. So it seems like you basically don't know how important this is to him, like this part of his life. And you don't know that there's just a lot of change happening here, a lot of shift. You don't know, you weren't aware that he's gone through this awakening and that he'd had this dark night. Here's your action to take. Here we go. They're saying bodies of water. So they're wanting you to go to the ocean or to a lake or to a river if you can, and to, you know, literally put your hands and feet in it, or if you can, swim in it, completely submerge yourself in it. And this is going to heal you and kind of reset you and help charge your aura with more positivity, and it's going to help kind of trigger some of that healing that's needed for you. Sorry, I'm like stretching. It's going to help trigger some of that healing you need in a good way, and it's going to restore you. Oh my gosh, a couple days ago I went to the beach and it was so nice just swimming in the ocean. I didn't even realize how badly I needed it until I was in the ocean swimming, and it felt so good. And I seriously feel so much better now. I feel so much better, and I want to go back again really soon. So I love to take hikes too, and to just like, I love waterfall hikes and being able to get drenched at the end, you know, when you're super hot and you could just go under the waterfall, cool yourself down for the hike back, you know. Think of some stuff you can do like that, because it will really help you. And then you might have seen this card lately. I've been pulling it a lot on this channel, and it's saying there are opportunities on your horizon. Each one of these pillars represents an opportunity headed your way. You could just be feeling all of this disharmony because of what's happening right now with the planets. You know, people really forget how much the planets, and especially the moon, affects our body, because our body is what, like 98 or something % water. I'm sorry if that's wrong. I don't remember stuff like that. I was always doodling or like talking during class, and because I'm an artist, I'm a speaker, I'm a communicator, so I don't remember a lot of that stuff. But you know, I know our body is made significantly of water, and so it's the planets and their positioning and their alignment and the energy is going to really affect you. And so is what's happening in the world. I mean, there's a lot happening right now. This is a huge time of change and transition. I think that eclipse we just had is no coincidence. It's just a really interesting time on the planet. Wow, I could go on a tangent about that forever, but I'm going to stay on topic here. They're saying that you just need to stay grounded right now, you know, and this snake here, snakes symbolize like fear. And so I'm getting this message that's saying fear is the mind killer. You know, when you focus on your fear, you're going to manifest more fear. You know, sometimes you have to focus on your fear just to acknowledge it and be able to work through it. But if you're ruminating on that fear and you just continue to stay there, you have to remember there's other options. You know, like I said, the insecurity here, they're saying start delegating. They're saying to create your reality. You know, like you're creating your own reality through your thoughts and through your feelings and through your actions. And so, you get to have more control over your life and over your reality when you start taking notice of what's happening inside of you, and, you know, what thoughts you're thinking constantly and how you're feeling constantly. And if you're spending a lot of your time worried and scared and nervous and anxious about the situation, it's really going to block you, you know, from moving forward and from being able to manifest these opportunities on your horizon, and from maybe manifesting this positive outcome. You know, now what's for you is for you. And certain things are going to happen in your life no matter what, but you really are the creator. So you have to think about what you're creating and how you're doing that. And this situation is partly your creation, you know? And so that's, you got to work backwards and think like, okay, so if this is partly my creation, like what can I do to create something better here for myself? And my channel is definitely full of tips on how you can do that. And that's the journey I'm on. I'm on a journey where I'm really starting to take control of my life, and I'm starting to really be more intentional with my thoughts and my actions and my feelings. And I'm trying to choose happiness more, and choose peace, and choose love, and choose harmony. I'm becoming more conscious when I slip into patterns of, you know, perhaps being jealous or judgmental, or, you know, fearful. I think that that's just the ego, and all of us do that. And maybe you'll never be like 100%, you know, happy and harmonious and positive. It's not about perfection here. It's just about living a happier and more abundant life. It's about feeling better when you wake up every morning. And really, it's about waking up and really living the life of your dreams. I feel like we all have the potential to do that. So I feel like there's a lot happening in your life. Like I said, when I first started recording this reading, I was like, man, I feel a lot around you, like a lot of energy and transition and change. And it's like you're starting to head to a place where you're able to be more in control of what's happening around you. And so you're going to feel a lot more empowered. And, you know, you are going to see more positive changes in your life. Perhaps you'll be able to draw this person back into your experience. But if that doesn't happen, you have to know that there is something else out there for you that's going to be meant for you. And it's going to be even better and more amazing and abundant than this relationship. Now, you can never compare people. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Someone might touch your heart, and you might always feel that loss and that heartache for that person. But you can take those feelings and take those emotions and use them to inspire yourself. Be inspired by the love that you feel for this person, you know? Be inspired by love in general. Create, you know, from that place. Those are some huge messages that are coming through. I feel like, you know, this art card came out for you, and it's like, you're an artist, you know? I'm like stretching, sorry. I'm doing this reading on the floor. Yeah, you're an artist. Maybe that's what you're realizing. You might look at other people's art and think, wow, they're an artist. I'm not an artist. I just kind of doodle and blah, blah, blah. But like, no, don't make excuses. Like, you are an artist and you have potential, and that's what you should be feeding right now. And what better way to help transmute these emotions than to create your art? Advice from Spirit. Oh my God. This is so sweet. Oh my gosh. Oh, this makes me feel better when I see it. I don't know why. I feel like this peace for you when I see this. This is a really beautiful message, and it's just saying, this card, you might want to, there's this website called Truly Teach Me Tarot, and this card is the equivalent of the Fool in the traditional tarot. So if you type in on Google, Truly Teach Me Tarot, the Fool, then you can read about this card, and it might kind of tell you where you're at right now, or basically where you're headed. So this is saying that the cycle has restarted for you. It's the beginning of the journey. And you know what? This rarely happens, but I'm feeling the intuition to actually read you this page in the book. So I'm probably going to wrap the reading by reading you this page, but overall they're saying that your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So perhaps right now there's a reason that you've had this, look at, she's like separated, like Spirit separated you from this person for a reason. And they're saying, once again, you're just getting started. So have patience with yourself in the process and do not give up. Faith and trust and hope is totally what's being called for in this situation. You know, to just have faith that this is all happening for a reason, to trust in the flow of your life, and to look back and remember all the times that you've been delivered from heartache and suffering, and times that, you know, things have worked out in your favor. And just know that, you know, there's going to be this contrast in life, but there are going to be good times that are coming again. And it seems like you're headed to this place where you're really starting over. And so this is awesome, because I started pulling this card a lot, like I'm going to say about 2 years ago, and this was like my card. Oh my gosh. And my partner would just joke with me every time I went to this deck, because I would always pull this card. And yeah, it was right before I started posting on YouTube. It was right before I started this channel, and right before I was just started kind of getting into tarot, and I was going through a lot of changes in my life, and pretty much ever since that time, things have only gotten more beautiful and more abundant for me, and it really is the beginning of my new life. So I feel like this marks a huge change in your life, maybe for everyone. I feel like that eclipse just really, I feel so refreshed. It's like out with the old, in with the new. This is the new beginning. It's like a new era. And I feel like, you know, it's true for you, but it's also true for all of us. So I'm going to end with this. I'm going to read it. Hopefully I will be okay, because I'm dyslexic and I also stutter sometimes. Let's see if I can read this. Here we go. It's the Wanderer. And it says, poised on the... wait, that just describes the card. You can see the card. At this moment, the burdens of the past are set aside, either for the wanderer to pick up and take along, or to leave behind if the weight is too great. The wheel of the year is beginning its great cycle. Oh my gosh, just like I said. Remember when I said the wheel of the year has turned for you? At the beginning of the reading, it's like ending. It's ending with this message about your wheel really turning here. So the wheel of the year is beginning its great cycle, bringing a new range of possibilities and challenges. The wanderer is ready to make the leap into the unknown. All that is required is faith. The wanderer represents the wisdom or courage to let go, to step into the void of the possible. Something within you may have already begun this unconscious, instinctive leap across the abyss. You know it's time to move on. Sometimes the fear of loss or failure may make you doubt the validity of change. You may want to wait or hesitate at the critical moment because of the comfort of security. But the momentum of the great wheel has already sent the true heart of the wanderer into the future, leaping across the gap with joy and courage. Now the figure must leave the burdens that have been carried for so long and trust to the wings of imagination. So it's really much a leap of faith card too. The wanderer is both an end and a beginning. One journey has already come full circle, and as you distill your life experience into sacred memory and put the past and its burdens to rest, the future waits patiently for you to make the first move. Remember that your wisdom, strength, and whatever personal experiences and skills you have may not help you now. The honest spirit of human inquisitiveness leads you beyond yourself and into a new life. This unconscious energy creates a rainbow bridge that rises and greets your foot. It will carry you over the void as you step, trusting and empowered into the unknown. So basically it's saying you've come to a junction or a turning point in your life. It may be an unconscious state in which you feel the tide has turned or sense something's going to happen. In a way, it already has. Your spirit must move on, and the desire to leap into the unknown beckons. This may mean leaving behind or giving up some baggage or burden that you have carried with you from the past. Now is the time to be clear and not let fear of falling or sad disillusion with the universe hold you back. Let your imagination... Ooh, I just got chills when I read imagination and thought about... Oh, I was thinking about your art. So this is what's important for you right now. Let your imagination carry you into a new set of possibilities. It is a time to travel hopefully and open your arms to new and challenging aspects of the universe. So they're saying you just gotta have blind faith right now. And the phrase, you know, if you love something, let it go, comes to mind. Maybe you're being called to let this person go. Will this person return? It's definitely not for you to know at this time. Check back maybe in a couple months after Mercury retrograde clears, and we might be able to see where the energy's at. But at least at this moment, it's saying you need to let go, you need to surrender, and trust where this path is taking you, because there's some really exciting things happening around you right now. You don't want to miss out on that. You don't want to miss out on these opportunities, and you won't. This is coming. These opportunities are coming to you, but you know, you want to be able to really celebrate this new beginning in your life. You might not have noticed that there's this new energy. So I love pulling this card. It's so fun. Like, anytime I pull this card, like, amazing things usually happen after. You know, you never know where the journey's going to take you. So just be open. Peace out.